Okay, okay.
Yeah.
How
How we
you
feeling, y'all?
darn? How you darn? How you living? How you feeling, people? What is Gucci? What is up? Welcome into today's stream. Sorry we were a little bit late. Had a little
Yep.
meeting with the guys from Flock Fantasy. Love that crew over there, and talking about
Yeah.
ways to improve the site for all of you. Some cool ideas, some little knick-knack things that we want to improve. Constantly improving that site, trying to give out the
Always.
best product for all of you guys.
Come on, baby.
Mason and the crew over there working
Mason
collectively.
Dobbs? Imagine.
Yes. What's up,
Yeah.
Christian? What's up, Sean?
Starstruck.
What's up, and S? I want to say and one when I say that. What's up, Albert? What's up, G Money? What's up, Actual Sloth? Double L Edward. What's Gucci, guys? Let us know who we're hanging out with today. Who's in the chat? Today we have a Dynasty startup mock draft for all of you hooligans, friends and family, whatever you are to us.
Whatever you are. Whatever you are.
Welcome in. Welcome in. What's up, AK? What's up, Daniel? What's up, Colton? Macy, I want to know what's the update, man. What's the update? You know what I'm talking about. What are we looking at now? What are we looking at? We are doing a startup mock draft as we said. So, Badake, if people want to join this startup mock draft, how can they go about doing so?
Yeah, guys, as always, if you're watching now or later, join our Discord. Link in the description below, and link is going to be in the chat here very soon. That's all you have to do. Join our Discord, then go to then go to Fantasyland with the orange footballs, then go to content releases under that. That's exactly where I'll be posting the link. Once again, join our Discord. Go to Fantasyland tab with the orange footballs, go to content releases, and that's exactly where I'll be posting the link to the mock draft every single time. Whether it's this mock draft, a mock draft on redraft, whatever the case may be, every single time the mock draft link will go there. And I'm gonna send that out here and send it out right now. Here we go. 3, 2. Ooh,
As he's sending it out, what's up, Dante? AK says he has 2 startups coming soon. That's awesome to hear.
Come on.
Currently in a startup. Sloth says 92 days. That's what I was looking for. 92 days.
92 days.
Until kickoff.
Here we go.
What's up, Josh? Welcome in. Sean says, I need to know, since you both have been playing fantasy, who has more championships between you two? I mean, I would probably say
longer.
me, to be honest. I've been playing much longer.
He's playing longer than me.
But even in our home redraft league, you're looking at the back-to-back champion. So
were you back-to-back? I won this in the redraft.
Yeah.
No, we have 2. So we have 2 redrafts. It's in 2 different groups. So Zach won back-to-back, but I won this past year as well. So we have like a big money pot, and then we have like a second league that's not as big.
Yeah.
And I think I won the big money pot, and then you won the small one this year.
Yeah. I'm a 3-time champion in the 1 quarterback league. I'm a 1-time champion in the 2 quarterback league. I think you just won your first in that one. So I would say me, but
yeah. I won our first Dynasty league, even though that kind of died out after year 1.
That's true. Those were not reliable players.
They were not reliable players, but I did win that, and I won money. So
yeah. Let's go ahead and get this thing started. We are doing a 2023 Dynasty Startup Draft, Superflex, PPR. There's no tight end premium. And, every once in a while we sprinkle in a little 3rd-round reversal because I know a lot of people like that. So let's go ahead and do that for this one today. There will be a 3rd-round reversal. And let's go ahead and get this thing going. So just started the draft here, and let's go. Badaki's time is coming. Zach, talk it up. Hey, defending. Like, we're just the back-to-back defending champions here. Building a dynasty like the Golden State Warriors.
Didn't I come second? I lost to you, didn't I?
That's right. You had to be taught a lesson. I'm just kidding.
What's funny is
where did it bring you to?
I went to the finals. Honestly, shout out to Thanos. I went to the finals in both of those leagues, and either way, I still won money, but didn't win obviously the championship. But it was a close one.
You're a formidable opponent, no doubt.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and draft Joe Burrow here at the 1-4. Wes, thank you so much for becoming a YouTube member. Very, very kind of you. Man. Thanks for the support. Shout out to Wes Johnson and shout out to Wes Anderson. A couple great Weses out there.
Wes Anderson. Classic.
Yeah, Dante did win the Delta Redraft League. Buster says, if you're not in this industry, what would your ideal number of leagues be? I would probably still carry on the same amount, to be honest.
To be honest, if I wasn't in with all of these leagues, I'll probably just be in however many leagues my friends would be in. I don't know if I would enjoy it as much with. I guess I would now because I've kind of learned how to enjoy leagues with, I guess, not randoms anymore. At least in the first year, it was like, okay, these random people have no idea are kind of supporting us and playing a league. So now I guess I will probably be able to play more random leagues, I guess you can say. But I'll probably just keep it close knit with our friends and maybe do multiple money pots within our friendship group, I would say.
Yeah. If I wasn't doing this, I would just be looking for more leagues, to be honest.
Maybe. Yeah, that's.
Hello from Budapest, Wes says. That's awesome.
Hey,
what's up, man?
That's awesome, man.
What are you doing here? You're on the clock.
I need to make a pick, and you know what? I'll switch it up here. I'm just going to go wide receiver. Let's go late quarterback. Josh technically should have taken Jamar Chase. I just took the first one.
No, you took the right one. Don't worry.
But I'll go late quarterback strat and see what I can do here. I'll switch it up and see what that looks like. I haven't done that in a while.
Yeah. By the way, Wes, I wonder if you've ever been to the I never say that wrong. Hungarian Grand Prix. That's the closest to Budapest, right?
I think so. Yes.
Hungary.
Is that what it's called? Is that how they say it?
I'm pretty sure it's the Hungaring, right? I can't say it ever properly.
I thought it was just the Hungarian. Is that what you're trying to say?
No, the name of the Grand Prix.
Right. Okay. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
Okay, so Jefferson and Chase go off the board, then Fields, and now Macy's on the clock. Dante says, why is everyone in redraft doing wide receiver heavy now? I just think a lot of people are playing PPR, and running backs, I would say, are becoming less and less reliable, right? I mean, over the last 5 to 10 years, you're seeing way less running backs who are true workhorses. They're typically injured more than your wide receivers are, and in PPR formats, I think people just want to rely on those who are getting 150, 60 targets a year. And then you have cheat codes like Austin Eckler, who had 100, I think almost 100 receptions himself.
Yeah, it was pretty wild.
So yeah,
I think also just on top of that, I think a lot of people can't trust running backs anymore. I mean, you can't really trust. Look, I feel like you can only trust the top like five, 6 running backs. After that, it just really falls off. Like, I know a lot of people would rather have like, oh, I can get a Pollard a little bit later, or I can get whoever, Ramondre Stevenson's a little bit later. I don't think people trust them because of maybe their situation or their coaching, and anyone can kind of come up. So they would rather draft all these wide receivers and then just get any running back that they think that has high upside at that time. So
well, the whole running back dead zone, definitely, like, the people who are big running back dead zone advocates definitely took a big hit last year, right? I mean, you had Ramondre, who was great. You had Tony, who was great. You had Lenny. You had James Conner, who ended up being very good, won people championships. You had, I guess, Josh Jacobs was the king of the dead zone last year. Miles Sanders, right? So, I mean, a lot of those running back dead zone running backs ended up working out much better than people who spent, let's say, a first round pick on, like a Dalvin Cook, who was good, but like, was he worth that first round pick? No. Alvin Kamara wasn't worth it, I
guess that's another thing. No one wants to spend a first round pick on, who has a proven production, but you don't know where that production is going to be this year, right? Where I feel like wide receivers are a lot more consistent. If I can get a Tyreek in the first over a Nick Chubb, everyone's going to do that right now. Everyone's going to take the Stephon Diggs, or it's going to take obviously the Jamal Chases, the Garrett Wilsons over maybe the 8th best running back or the 4th best running back on the board, because they just don't want to take the risk.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Wes says, have not been here 6 months, headed back to the U.S. next month. Love that. So are you stationed there or something?
Yeah, that is awesome, man.
It's a cool place to live for a little while, though. In my standard scoring league, should I go RB heavy? Yeah, in a standard league, I would. No PPR, then I definitely would. myself. Okay, so CJ Stroud at the 2-9.
Falling to you, buddy.
Upside
Right
is
to you,
Joe
right?
Burrow. The floor is Jared Goff. I'll take it. I mean, you guys know I won't shut up about Kyler Murray, but getting Kyler Murray at the 2-6 should be criminal. The fact that people are getting him in the 3rd, 4th, 5th round is also just absolutely criminal. I think he's the easiest buy. I've been screaming that, and most people are done hearing me say that. So Jalen Waddle goes off the board.
That's sick, Wes. He says wife works here. So I'm a player poker. So poker player. Taking care of the kids and drafting dynasty team. That's awesome. And I love Zach and I in our house with all the boys went through this whole season of we used to come home after work or after school and we would just say, you want to run a couple hands? Like we had a full set. We had a full poker set.
Yeah. We had a pot. I mean, it was basically like a tab almost. Like we had this big pot of money just sitting in our kitchen, and you could take out whatever you won from that round. The 3rd round now reverses, by the way, but yeah, it definitely formed into an addiction quite quickly. To the point where we were going to casinos, and I know Badake, you went to a casino. What was it? Was it a $1,000 buy-in?
Oh my gosh. No, it was 100. I would not.
Okay,
it
was 100, and you were out in like 3 hands.
Yeah,
so
it was.
Funny. We drove an hour to get to this casino because Badake wanted to play on the big tables, and he was out.
I want to experience it
in literally 3 minutes. And so he sat down. We were all watching from a distance, and then oh, I wonder what he's gonna do here. Oh, that's a tough hand. And then we saw him get up 3 minutes later. We're like, are you done?
It's it's actually so intimidating when you go to an actual poker room where not even your friends can be around you. It's just you, and it's oh shit, okay, wait, how many chips do I have? Or what's that? What's my chips? 5, 10, 20? Oh shit, how can you recount that? It's actually so intimidating when you're there. But it's awesome. It's awesome. It was a cool experience. Would I ever do it again? Probably not. I probably would have done it again at that time if I had the money, to be completely honest. But it was a cool experience. I mean, you actually went to the finals. These it's called pop-ups. They have this thing over here in Australia where there's pop-up pokers at RSLs, which is
they're clubs.
I think of them as senior centers where you.
But it's not senior citizens though.
No, but you get a discount if you are a senior citizen. And
right.
I don't know. That's how I kind of explain it. But yeah, you went to one of the finals in one of them or something like that.
Yeah, I forgot we even did that tournament. And I did not expect it. It was 3 hours, and I made it to the finals. There was probably 100 people there. Well, maybe 50. I don't know. It felt like a lot. Yeah. And then I was like, I cannot believe I'm even in the finals. And that dude roasted me in the finals. I mean, I had never gone heads up, just person versus person. And he, I didn't know any tactics to try and beat someone, 1v1 at the end of a tournament. I had no idea. I'd never been in that position. And he absolutely roasted me. Just he finished that thing up real quick. I had no idea what I was doing.
Yeah. It was cool, though. It was cool. What's ever played in the Hard Rock in Tampa? No, I've been to the Hard Rock in Tampa, which is awesome.
I did a startup and got Kyler in the 8th. I'm assuming that's a 1 quarterback, right? Miles Sanders, Aaron. I would go Miles.
Yep.
Okay, so Tyreek Hill off the board.
No, nothing but you.
Let's see what hand the man does here. You got him in the 8th round of a Superflex startup?
Sheesh, man.
I mean, This is what I felt like last year when Calvin Ridley was the wide receiver 60. And I'm getting him the 14th round of startups. And I'm like, guys, this is the easiest buy in the history of Dynasty. And now we're getting Kyler Murray in sometimes the 8th round. He's the easiest buy you could actually point to. Drizzy Drake London off the board at the 3-7. Hand the man in one of our leagues is trying to get him off me, and I don't feel a need to move him, honestly.
Mm.
Got Calvin in the 18th round last year. Byronic, it was like the easiest pick you could possibly make all last year. The easiest trade you could possibly make. Thanks for the sub, Aaron.
Huge love. Huge love.
Shout out to the 90 people watching the stream. If you can do us a favor, go ahead and drop a like on the video. Very easy way to support the channel to help us grow. If you have not hit the like button, go ahead and do so. We do have a like goal of 150, so if we hit that like goal, we'll pop off a second mock draft for you guys. So if you want to see more content, that's how you can go about doing it. That is doing it. That is doing it. No thing. I'm on the board here, and yeah, I think I prefer the tier of running back with Jahmyr Gibbs over the tier of wide receivers available.
Daniel Jones there, nice.
Danique, might be saying that wrong, is asking about Ayuk. I do love Ayuk. You know, technically, he already kind of blew up last year. Finished as a wide receiver 15. Just not a lot of people are talking about it. So I could definitely see it. The only issue is questions around quarterback play. But a lot of people forget that Trey Lance had a pretty good connection with Ayuk. We heard about that a lot. It was advertised. And I think if it's Trey Lance, he will look towards Ayuk. And if it's not, we've seen Ayuk be pretty good without Trey Lance as well. So, yeah, I think he's a good buy.
Yeah, I agree. And the community is a decent price. I think he's RB like 25 as well in the community right
Wide
now.
receiver,
So,
yeah.
Wide receiver, excuse me, 25. So definitely a guy I'm happy to invest in. I think the ADP is definitely showing that as well in the Dynasty startup. You know, Deebo Samuel is going earlier. And it's not like a whole round early, maybe a couple picks earlier. People are still wanting Deebo over Ayuk, so just depends on where you can get him and the price you can pay for him. So you go Gibbs, Daniel Jones, DK Metcalf, Saquon Barkley, Cooper Kupp, Kenneth Walker at the 4-2. Now Chase is on the clock here. Let's see where he's gonna go.
Yeah.
Quentin Johnston, nice. I was hoping that he was going to fall to me at the 4-8. I was getting excited there. I didn't think anyone was going to take him. Love the respect. Put the respect on his name.
Yeah, guys, come on.
Well, I remember in the beginning when we were doing Dynasty Startup, he was going like in the 7th, 6th rounds. And I was like, there's no way. But obviously that was before the NFL draft and, you know.
So I don't think I've ever started like a real draft with 2 running backs in the first 4 rounds. That's not how I build my dynasty teams. I just can't ignore Travis Etienne at the 4-4. I mean, to me, it's a no-brainer to make this pick. I know a lot of people are worried about Tank, but I'm not that worried about Tank. I'll definitely take Travis there at the 4-4. And there goes Kyle Pitts, which was definitely someone I was considering as well. But, man, I wonder how far Etienne would have fallen.
Yeah. Yeah, people scared of Etienne. I don't see the. And I guess just to kind of close maybe the conversation on Etienne and our, because we talk about it a lot, but I think we can both agree we don't see the 70. You know, Tank Bigsby taking, you know, more than like 50% or 60%. Like people are saying like Etienne is like done for. Like Tank is going to be the lead back here. I don't see that. I see him being the reliever back, a goal line guy. Maybe it's 30% workload. At best, it's 40% for Tank in that scenario. But even then, Etienne is getting the majority of the workload. He's going to be the workhorse in the air, and I would say on the ground still. I just think Tank is going to take one of Mark Andrews right there. I just think that you know, Tank is just going to take touchdowns away from him.
And I don't even think it's going to be that bad necessarily, but yeah, I definitely hear you. You know, it's interesting because to me, I never really had expectations that Travis Etienne was going to handle 75% of the running back opportunities. right? Like he did after James Robinson left. Did anyone really anticipate him taking 75% of the opportunities? I mean, if you look at even one of the highest volume rushers in the NFL, Nick Chubb only had about 56% of his team's rushing attempts on the season, so it wasn't like a split, so it's not the same. But I mean, it's just completely unrealistic to ever have anticipated Travis Etienne. Like if it wasn't Tank Bigsby, Dearness Johnson would have had a role. You know what I mean? Like he would have stepped in and had an important role. I don't know. I just don't understand why that's a huge point for people. Like he's not going to get 75% of the opportunity. Of course he's not. Why would he in today's NFL?
Agreed. I think he can play the Jamal Williams role in the touchdown perspective, and maybe he gets all his opportunities like that, and he's going to be a guy. It's going to be tough, but.
You're talking about Tank there?
Yeah, I'm talking about Tank. Maybe he has a Jamal Williams type of season without the opportunities on the ground, just more in the goal line stance, right? Like maybe he scores 8 touchdowns and throughout the season, or 8 to 12, however many touchdowns. Maybe that's really absurd for a rookie, right? But still.
Hey, we love reception perception here. I think he does great work. Did you see the reception perception for Jerry Jeudy last year? It just released.
I haven't, but I've already seen it on Twitter how it was pretty bad.
It was really, really rough and
yeah,
very eye-opening for me. I still think that Jerry is a fantastic player. I just don't think he's had very good coaching. I'm very curious to see how they deploy him and what opportunities, like where they align him on the field, because I think he's more effective in certain areas. I'm very curious to see what Sean Payton's vision is for him. But that was very interesting to see. I did not expect his success by route to be that poor. But yeah, like I said, interesting.
Yeah, I heard
article. I would suggest people to go watch it for sure.
I saw it and it was pretty. I saw like quick things on Twitter and in screenshots of the route. What is it? Route for success. And it was pretty
success
iffy.
By route. Yeah.
Success by route. I wasn't paying attention.
Damn. I didn't think you were that high on Jameson. I thought he might fall to me.
No, I like Jameson. He is still pretty high for me. Obviously with suspension he went down a couple spots, but he's not above. I would say there is one person I can argue that I could have taken over him.
Sure.
But that's it. But normally he falls, so I want to see how far he fell, because he's usually buried in the ADP.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So I don't really know anything about golf. There's some pretty huge golf news today. PGA is combining with some, is it the LIV or something? Someone in the chat probably knows much more about that, but apparently people in the golf world are very, very upset. I don't have an opinion because I don't really watch golf, but PGA is apparently kind of giving in to this entity. I think it's in Saudi Arabia, the people are funding it.
Yeah.
Which we've seen them fund a lot of different sports ventures, I guess you could say. So yeah, just interesting talking point.
It is interesting. I have no idea. I'm kind of with you. No idea what that means, what that looks like. I don't think I don't watch golf. I don't know the sport as a whole. I just know keywords: birdie, par, hole in one. But if you can name a big golfer outside of Tiger Woods, or I don't know anyone outside of Tiger Woods. I mean, Arnold Palmer, I know that he was a golfer, but that's about it.
You only know him because of the drink.
Yeah. I also thought that I thought he was talking about Jared Goff at first. I was like, big news on golf today, and I was like, oh shit, what happened? Like, I literally opened up Twitter.
Play soccer for a Saudi Arabian team.
I literally opened up Twitter and typed in golf, like Jared Goff, to see if something happened.
I'm gonna take Devontae Adams there. I don't typically take Adams in a build, but he looked like the best player in my rankings available.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, so again, I don't know much about golf, but I know it's like very important to the golf world what's happening today. TJ Hawkinson off the board.
Jamal.
Badake, Sean says, Badake, can you start drafting some wide receivers before
Wide
they
receivers
run out?
right now. Yeah. I have a nice little plan and strat. Let's see if it works out. Let's see if it does work out.
So Torres has Pat Mahomes, Olave, Barkley, Cup, Goff, and then Kittle. And now let's see what we've got here in round number 6. When's the next finals game, by the way?
Tomorrow. Tomorrow at 10:30 for us in the morning, obviously.
Hey, this guy has some groundbreaking golf news. See, no one cares.
No one cares. That's actually still true. No one responds.
No one in the chat, really, like, no one cared at all.
I mean,
okay.
sorry, we're just trying to show some sympathy to the golf community, but
yeah. No, we really don't care.
That's so funny, though. That's actually exactly what happened with Steve.
That's funny.
Said.
All right, Kirk Cousins at the 6'2". Yes, all those names are merging. All those names are coming together. Brandon Ayuk goes off the board. And, okay. That puts me in a very interesting situation. Okay, who would be my next ranked wide receiver then? You know, as crazy as it sounds, I might go Calvin Ridley here.
Fair.
Welcome to the squad, Calvin.
Give it to Calvin.
Unifying the sport. I think people are upset about the ownership, but I could be wrong. What would you be willing to give up for Lamb in a 12-team Superflex PPR? I mean, I need at minimum 3 first-round picks value at minimum, and I think where those first-round picks is important. I've had people send me trades for CeeDee Lamb. And there's been like a player I like and 2 first-round picks, but they're both picks from very good teams. And I'm like, I appreciate the offer, but like I don't want the 111 in 2 drafts and a player I like, you know? So I think something that doesn't get talked about enough is where those picks are projected to be. Now, of course, you can't predict the future or anything, but yeah, I would just need probably 3 first-round picks. Maybe a little throw in a player that I like that's not too valuable, but I need those first round picks to be at least like mid projected. So
yeah. All right, I wanted Kenny. Okay, well, let's I have to take a quarterback here.
Yeah, put yourself in a little hole there. Thank you for the super chat there, Darth Dookie. I'm guessing this is this one of 2 messages, or does this mean half
this
PPR?
This is, I think, half PPR, 1 quarterback, 10 teams, start 8. Burrow, Etienne, Akers, Chase, Olave, Andrews. Okay, yesterday I was offered Addison, Walker, and a future second for Olave. So you're getting Jordan Addison, Walker, and a future second for Chris Olave. Let me look at my rankings here.
That's a really difficult one, to be honest, because
I mean, Addison is not too far from Olave for me at the moment. Definitely in different tiers,
Oh, that's tough.
but I think it all just depends on Walker
Yeah,
and
exactly. Because I
how you view Walker. Because do you want to invest in him right now?
I'm
That's
more
the real
concerned
question.
around Kenneth Walker than the average person. I mean, a lot of people are saying he's still worthy of being top 5. You know, he's still this really good value, and I just don't see how Charbonnet isn't involved. I just don't see how he doesn't play an important role there.
Yeah.
So, what sort of production are you trading for? I think you should leave the future second out of this conversation. It's a nice piece to add, but I think you should leave it out of the conversation in this particular instance, just because it shouldn't be the tipping point when we're talking about these players. I honestly think it's very even. It's very even. Like Badake said, it would all come down to how you view
Walker.
Kenneth Walker. To me, I would need it to be a different running back other than Kenneth Walker to make that deal. I don't dislike Kenneth. I just don't want to pay what is his perceived price in the market right now, if that makes any sense whatsoever. So, yeah, especially in a start 8. Especially in a start 8.
Yeah.
You know?
Maybe that is why he's trying to just sell Walker. Like, it feels like Walker's a throw-in piece for him in this scenario, in my opinion. Meaning that he doesn't value Walker as much as maybe.
I don't think he has Walker. I think he's
like the other guy. No, the other guy. The other guy doesn't value Walker, so that's why he's just like, hey.
Oh, okay, right.
You know?
Yeah. Okay, Chris Godwin goes off the board. Let's keep building around these wide receivers. And, I mean, this kind of feels like a win-now team almost outside of C.J. Stroud. I mean, let's just see what we can add here. Let's go firstly. Okay, let's go firstly Deontay Johnson. Let's see what comes back to us. What's up, MP? Welcome in, man. He says 202. There's more. He says, is this something I should consider or keep Olave as he's the most valuable piece in a shallow league? Tuning in from 33,000 feet up. That's awesome. I mean, Darth Dukey's on a plane 33,000 feet in the air watching this stream, and he's donating. I mean,
he's donating.
Talk about dedication.
He's either in first class. He either paid for the Wi-Fi or the Wi-Fi is free.
I was going to say, like, first off, he paid for the Wi-Fi. He's watching us in the air, 30,000 feet in the air.
Or business
and
class.
He donates. Ridiculously good type of commitment there. Look, I think in that shallow of a league, I'm personally keeping Olave unless I can change Walker out for, like, an Etienne, a Saquon, you know, a Taylor. I know that sounds crazy, but some people have them ranked very similarly. I said Etienne already. Yeah, I'm just much more concerned about Walker than your average person. I don't want to devalue him completely, but he's not a player that I feel very comfortable having as like my RB1, for example, on a dynasty team, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Trey Lance at the 8-1. I thought about taking Trey Lance at the 7-9. I think like that's probably the steal of the draft so far. I don't know why he fell that far. I think it's incredible value. I just really needed to get some wide receivers on my team. Otherwise, I would have definitely looked at making that pick myself.
Yeah.
So Bateman and Tony go off the board. And this is going to work beautifully for me depending on what Chase does here.
Let's see what he does.
Ah, shit, Chase. You son of a bitch.
Yeah, that's funny. You know what I mean. Don't be afraid now. Yeah, I love Cooper, man.
It really looks gross now, doesn't it?
Nah, there's still a stud out there. You just got to keep looking.
There's a player that I don't Dislike. I'm just not sure if he's the best value on the board.
Nah, he's best, man. He's best. Take him.
No,
Take him.
good, thanks. I'll go Dallas Goedert here.
Ah, shit. Still a stud out there.
But Darth, I hope that helps, man. I actually want to know more about Darth's life now. I want to know what you do for work.
What is he doing?
What kind of car you driving? You know, like what's your life looking like? I want to know. I want to dive in a little bit deeper. Like where you travel? You traveling every day? You typically watching from the sky? You know, what's a typical week look like for a Darth Dookie? You know?
Is it too personal to ask if there's any millionaires in the chat that just supports us randomly?
That's probably a little too personal.
I know, right?
And the only comments we're gonna get are from people who aren't millionaires.
I know.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, we have a couple millionaire supporters here. Thanks for the support. Donate $1.
You're all millionaires in my heart.
That's funny. Joe, there you go. Hand the man Elijah Moore.
Yeah, I mean, I thought about it, but it feels really bad taking Elijah Moore right after Amari Cooper.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
To me, it does.
Millionaire in spirit. Okay.
Sean says thoughts on Dameon Pierce this year. I mean, I've always been a little bit more skeptical on Dameon than everyone as a whole. I do think Singletary will have a role. Yeah, I still just see Dameon Pierce as like a low end RB2. Right? Like someone who's going to finish somewhere from RB20 to 24. I don't see any sort of top 5 upside like others do, top 10, and I could be wrong for sure. But I do think Devin Singletary is a better running back than what they had last year competing with Dameon Pierce. And I think he will have an important role. So let's see.
Yeah, I mean, I see him a little bit better. You know, I see him. Let me just pull up what he did last year before he was injured. I think he was like top 15, if I'm not mistaken, before his injury. Let me just double check that for you guys, because I actually do believe that's kind of where it's going to continue to go. Weeks 1 to
Thanks
4.
for the sub, Gingerbread Man.
Thank you, man. I could be wrong, but let's just see where he was. Dameon Pierce was RB17 last year before his injury. So I think he can push it. I think he can push it up there into like the 12s. I think he can push it to like, I would say it feels more comfortable saying he could be a 12 to 15 finish RB this coming year.
Maybe. I mean, you're dealing with Rex Burkhead and Devin Singletary. No disrespect to Burkhead, I just think like that's a different level of competition.
I just don't think Devin Singletary is going to be a threat on the ground, just more in the air. But you know, Dameon didn't get too much work in the air. Last year, he was targeted. He caught 30 out of 39 targets. So maybe that goes down. That's not as efficient. But you know, this offense hopefully gets better. He gets more goal line opportunities. I mean, he only scored 4 touchdowns last year. I expect that number to go up, and I can definitely see him, like I said, 12 to 15, 16 area. That feels really comfortable.
Yeah, maybe. Let's see. Millionaire in spirit. I can in fact say I'm not a millionaire, Ross says. Tunchi says he's a Dogecoin millionaire. I love that. Justin, thanks for the super chat, man. He says, I'm a millionaire. Big spender here. Definitely appreciate it.
Huge love. Huge love. All right, I was hoping either Aaron Rodgers, Derek Carr's come back to me. That's a fat GG's. That's what you get for doing late round strat.
Yeah, I mean, there's some things you can wait on. Quarterback's not one of those.
Well, I didn't think Hand the Man was going to take Kenny Pickett. He clearly took him because he knew I was going to go for Kenny, because I've been talking up Kenny the whole time.
Right, but you got a quarterback in the 6th and then still punted quarterback 2 rounds.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I guess I didn't read the board right. I didn't think Downs would have gone
That's fair.
Double quarterback there. I was hoping one of them at least fall to me. Let's see. I mean, the real starter is still available though. That's the real starter.
Maybe.
That's why we mock.
You know, Gingerbread Man, that's a good point. I saw Peter Schrager's top 5 breakout wide receivers yesterday, and you know, obviously, I thought it was a. To me, I love Pete Schrager. I think he's awesome at what he does, but to have Olave and Garrett Wilson in that video, I'm like, I mean, they already broke out. Like, what? Why are we saying they're going to break out? You know, I felt like you could have had 2 more wide receivers in that video that were more intriguing. Like Garrett Wilson and Chris Olave are just really obvious names, but I thought that video was fun. One of the names that he talked about was Tyquan Thornton. I like Tyquan. I think he's a strong hold. Like, I have seen a lot of people finish their dynasty drafts and drop Tyquan Thornton. To me, that's definitely a mistake. I don't think people should be doing that. I don't have any sort of ridiculously high expectations of him. But I don't think he should be dropped whatsoever. So at minimum, he's a strong hold in dynasty leagues, and I guess you could consider him a buy low. Yeah, I guess you could technically consider him that.
Yeah, just to speak on this Peter Schrager thing. In a fantasy perspective, they did break out, but maybe to like the normal football consumer.
Right.
Maybe that's what he was. Obviously, you know, Good Morning Football. It's great what they do. I love that show. Yeah. And I think maybe that's what he was targeting. I guess kind of just to back that up, maybe potentially for Peter Schrager, because I agree. Like, yeah, they definitely broke out, but the average football consumer is not like saying, okay, who's this Garrett Wilson guy? Like, bro, Garrett Wilson is gonna finish with like.
I don't know. I mean, both of them already finished top 20 in receiving yards. Garrett Wilson was top 15.
Yeah,
I mean, Garrett Wilson had 1,100 receiving yards. You know, like, I feel like those are already breakouts. But
yeah, and I would agree. I completely agree. But if you would go to somebody in the street, you know who Garrett Wilson is, they're gonna be like, who?
I think your average NFL watcher knows who Garrett Wilson is.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
Sammy says, would y'all move your 24 and 25 first, both projected late, for Pollard and Keenan? No. Not Keenan. I do like Keenan this year in redraft formats. I think he's a good buy, but no, I don't want to pay that price. Like, you could maybe justify that if it was like Chris Godwin, you know, or like a DJ Moore. A Devontae Adams, but no, not.
I'm not a big
not Keenan.
I'm not a big person that wants to invest in Pollard or Keenan personally for 24 first. I'm happy to sell Pollard to acquire a first. I think there's going to be a time you can do that. I think you can even do that now potentially. I know you're contending. I think if you're going to go for first, why not like try and get go higher? You know, why not try and get an Etienne, a Najee, a Jacobs? You know, these guys that maybe have a longer contract, or but maybe it's kind of difficult because it is projected late. So I feel like there's a real value sitting on the board, and it's a player that I don't even ever want to draft. But at this point, we've had Jaden Reed, Kendre Miller, A-Chain, Charbonnet, all these guys go off the board, and we still have Will Levis sitting there. Which, I mean, what would this make Will Levis in a rookie draft? I wonder. Let me do the math, but I feel like at the 10-4, I kind of have to draft him there. Let me do the math here. Yeah, see, rookie, it means he already broke it. That's so true. It's just so funny. No one wants to trade this because they drafted and everyone thinks they have a shot at the chip. Yeah, that's fair. Traded Burks for a 26 first, roast me. Maybe Zach will roast you. I'm assuming he's almost finished counting here.
So Will Levis is a 17th player. which means he would be valued at like the 205, 206. Is that right?
Yeah, around there.
I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen him go that low in a rookie draft.
Mm.
Traded Burks for a 2026 first. Roast me. I mean, depends on how far that's out, but I personally would not be trading away Treylon Burks right now.
Gingerbread said one more. Ah, fuck me. People are just really trying to play with my heart here. I'm just gonna take Sam Howell then.
I mean, most people are taking their quarterback 3
No.
with the rest of their team at this point.
Anyways, Terrace Marshall, would you be holding the Panthers getting? Would you hold there with the Panthers getting a wide receiver in the second? Yes, you still will hold. I mean, you gotta remember Terrace Marshall is a second round pick. Hasn't played with any really good quarterbacks. Was it Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold? I forgot who else he's played with actually. So it's been pretty bad. So I'm happy to hold. I think he's a must hold right now. I think a lot of people are kind of just, forgetting about Terrace Marshall, Adam Thielen. They draft Jonathan Mingo. People don't seem to forget that Marshall was a second round pick, really close to where actually Jonathan Mingo was taken. So definitely keep that in mind.
But Sammy, just to answer your question, yeah, if people aren't trading and not giving like good value, then that wouldn't be a trigger for me to overpay. It would just be a trigger for me to, if anything, maybe see if I can sell some players that I don't believe in high, right? I mean, if people are like digging in, like, do you have a DeAndre Hopkins? Do you have a, an older vet like Tyler Lockett? Like, can you get first round picks for these guys? Because not every team in your league is actually going to be competing. If everyone is, you know what I mean? So yeah. Still says he got Levis at the 205 in his home league in a super flex. That's very impressive.
Yeah, it's good.
Lewis, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to do that on the stream today. Yeah, just too much time. We have a lot of things that we'll need to do, but definitely hear you. So Downs and Hopkins go off the board. Rashee Rice, Marvin Mims. But yeah, I wouldn't drop Terrace Marshall either. So what are you thinking here?
A couple different options. I mean,
Mike White is still available.
Mike White is still available. I mean, Hendon Hooker, the guy that's going to project Treylon Burks to a top 15 finish, Ryan Tannehill, still there? Are you kidding me? Talk it up. I'm thinking of what I should do here. I am going to go Waller. Why not? Take a Giant.
Yeah, Waller's a good pick.
It's going to be like a real gap of no sport. Like basketball about to finish.
Madison is such a good pick there. Damn. That was definitely my next pick. Well done.
Dum. Dum. Tyler picking up the 12. What do you boys think of the Indy? If you're talking about Anthony Richardson, I think that like Anthony Richardson and Jonathan Taylor with Michael Pittman, if that's what you're talking about, and Josh Downs, that's definitely an interesting way to draft. I mean, I wouldn't draft too many of the guys on the same team. That really just limits your upside.
I think he's just asking how you feel about A-Rich at the 12.
No, I know. I first I was answering that, and then just to kind of clear the air. But that's something that I would do of drafting all those players. But Anthony Richardson at the 12, it kind of gets to a point where it really depends on how you think of Anthony Richardson. I think a lot of people wouldn't want to take him that high. I think I would be taking Deshaun Watson over Anthony Richardson, and then we just released a video not too long ago about the quarterbacks in that tier, and there for me it's kind of like pick your poison. Any of those rookie quarterbacks, Kyler Murray, is also included there, but I'm definitely taking Deshaun Watson over those guys.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I would go Watson, I would go Fields, I would go Murray, and I would go Bryce over A-Rich personally. But it's not that I dislike Anthony Richardson. I just feel more confident in those players.
Yeah, agreed. Baseball season. Apparently, baseball is obviously. I mean, I was watching the Pat McAfee show. He was talking with Alex Rodriguez, and apparently, baseball is doing some really good things. But that's Alex Rodriguez soaking up the sport, right? So,
yeah,
don't really know what's new over there.
I'm sure they're doing something good, but I don't want to watch it.
There might be some games on right now. I'll pull up KO and see what baseball games are on right now.
By the way, shout out to the 112 people watching the stream. Can you guys help us get to 100 likes? Right now, we are 23 likes away. Can you help us do it? Go ahead and drop a like if you have yet to do so. Help us hit that 100 mark. Just a simple way to help the channel grow.
Huge love, guys.
Okay, so we've got some options. I think what we're going to do, though, is we might take Alvin Kamara here. 12-4. It's very much a... I mean, there's young pieces. Young quarterbacks, young running backs, veteran wide receivers, good tight end. I don't think Dallas Goedert would put me in a... he's reliable for this build. We got some wild cards with Mingo and Levis. Yeah, I'm liking this team. Obviously, I prefer a stronger wide receiver room in my dynasty builds, but I think we can work with this.
Yeah, not that many games on right now. There's a game delay. Mets and Braves currently delayed right now.
Chris says, can you do another shout out of the light goal again? He needs another mock. I mean, our light goal is 150. So if you have yet to hit the like button and you want to see more mocks, you can help us get there technically. So 150 likes is the like goal. Steven says, would you rather watch 2 hours of baseball or golf? I would say baseball.
Yeah, baseball. Let me take my time.
What do y'all think of 3 firsts and Mingo for Bijan? Where are those firsts projected to be? You know, that's important to me. If you're going to give them to a team that's going to end up being, if you're getting those picks from a team who's going to end up being very good and probably winning, then no, I don't want 3 110s, you know?
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough, man. Those trades are really tough, and those are the things that you kind of have to hope that those teams do bad, because, you know, it's just going to really hurt your team at times. On a Sunday. Two mid 25 first and the early first.
That's not a bad offer, to be honest. I mean, it depends on your team. Like, I think you could milk even a little bit more, but if you have no plans on competing and like you're clearly rebuilding and Bijan's only going to help you not rebuild, right? Like, he's only going to put unnecessary points on your team and you don't see a pathway to competing, I'm probably fine with that.
Yeah, that's what I think. I agree with Tunchi there. Still, 25 is a bit far. So, like, yeah, that team doesn't compete this year. But let's just say, you know, some players on the team comes into opportunity or gets traded to a better team that has better opportunity. Now he's a competing team. So it's just tough. It's tough.
Yeah.
That's why I don't like to trade too far out, because, 225s is like, dang, like anything can happen.
Yeah, for sure.
Damian Harris, hoping to get him.
Okay. How do you feel about the squad?
I'm happy with it. I mean, look, it's not sexy. Would I do this again? Probably not. I think that's why I always like to go quarterback early in these instances.
Mm.
I think my wide receivers are really strong. I like Miles Sanders and James Cook is just my quarterback, my QB2. I'm really happy with Russell Wilson personally. I think he's going to take a big step this year.
Yeah.
I think he's going to. Let me just make a pick here. Sorry.
Steele says he also has 625 first. I mean, honestly, like in that scenario, I don't know that I want. It's not that I don't want as many picks as I can, but like at some point, I don't want to own an entire draft, because what if that draft is actually not as good as people thought it would be? Then you're like, oh, well, okay, got to move some of these picks around, have to figure out and find good players. So I don't love the idea. Like, very rarely have I seen someone have like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 first round picks in a draft and it ends up working out really well for them. I'm not saying it's a bad idea, but I just don't. I think you're kind of strapping yourself to an entire class that you don't really know that much about just yet. Nice. I'm going to take Khalil Herbert here. I feel very good about that pick.
Yeah, you feel that, yeah. Hopefully that helps, man. Just some things,
Casey says, what's the big attractions at the zoos down there? You have kangaroos and emu, but do you guys have deer and coyotes and foxes? I feel like it's a typical zoo.
I feel like if we do have those things, I feel like they're a little bit more exotic to like different parts of like a different type of breed of fox or deer, or coyotes, I guess you can say. They actually call possums something different here, if I'm not mistaken. And raccoons, they don't have in Australia. They also don't have squirrels in Australia, which is another thing. So when we went to America, my first, like this past year with my wife, and that was her first time in America, she saw squirrels, and they think it's the cutest thing. All Australians are like, oh my God, squirrels are so cute. How do you not keep them as pets? That like they're rodents.
Yeah,
which is funny.
So I end up feeling pretty good about this team at the end. Like I said, I prefer stronger wide receivers in Dynasty, guys that I can build around. But I think if things go right, I could potentially compete with this team. A lot of it hinges on CJ Stroud. I still like that. I have my pillars, my 2 quarterbacks, tight end, and then young running backs to kind of compete with these wide receivers who are in their prime. It's not my favorite build, but yeah, don't mind it. If Levis and Mingo hit, then we're definitely cooking with gas. I think Herbert went too late in this draft, to be honest. 13-9 is too late.
Yeah.
Yeah, Steven, I think that's also what I was alluding to there for sure. Like, you can ask Gluten Freak about this, who in one of our leagues just collected every first round pick he could in 2023. It's tough. Like, if that class doesn't hit and it's not just solid throughout the entire first round, then, you know, you're kind of stuck with managing what you have. So your last pick, what are you thinking?
I'm just gonna take a wide receiver. Not much left on the board that I really love. I actually could go with one, actually. A guy that I brought in the video I'm seeing now. More on redraft, though.
Devin Singletary off the board.
Was I on the clock that whole time?
Yep.
On my screen, the other dude was on the clock. That's why I was like, it was counting down, and I was like, he's not gonna make a pick. Sorry,
No, I was waiting for you to make a pick.
No, and I was like, yeah, I'm probably just gonna take a running back here. But I didn't want to say anything because on my side, the other dude was on the clock.
Yeah.
GG's. Good thing I had him on a queue. I would have got best play available.
For real.
All right. I mean, I think that's about it for today. Hey.
That is going to be it for today. Yep.
We appreciate you guys. Quick plugs before we go. As always, we have a redraft channel. That's links in the description. A lot of good content coming out. We're going to be pushing out a lot of content. We're already pushing out a lot of content on our redraft channel. We're going to continue to do that. That should be in the chat here soon. If you want to go check that out, make sure you go subscribe over there. This is actually our first channel we started before we started the Dynasty channel. So if you're part of redraft, you love redraft, go check that out. Go subscribe. We have a lot of good content coming out on this channel as well, on our Dynasty channel, and then throughout this week, I have a video releasing tonight or tomorrow morning for you guys, and then tomorrow we have our last rookie draft, the last one of the year for us. That will stream. And then I think we're going to do a lot more Dynasty startups, potentially. So definitely stay tuned for that. Yeah, that's about it. Hey, I don't really know if there's anything else.
Yeah, that is it. Thanks, guys, for joining us. Like Badake said, we put the link in the chat to subscribe to our redraft channel. Subscribe over there. And, I mean, we've got content for days. Always something out. We'll start putting out more content over on the redraft channel. So it's going to start popping off. But that is it, guys. Appreciate you. Enjoy the rest of your night. And we will see you guys here very soon, tomorrow night.
All love, y'all.